Today on Uncommonly Good MTG, we are playing with Mono Red Stompy from the Premium Mythic list. Is your Canadian girlfriend real? Or is it really a dude from a call center trying to scam you? Find out next! Hello and welcome to Uncommonly Good MTG. I am your host, the future Grandmaster of Competitive Goldfish Breeding, Dr. Yukon Socket. Yes, thank you. Here are my giant goldfish. Thank you so much. Yukon Socket. Word to your mother. So I'm broadcasting you today from my secret underground headquarters, and I'm bringing to you a deck off of the traditional standard rank deck list for February 20th, 2023, off of magic.gg. And I don't know who actually posted it, whose deck this stuff is. They get it from someplace, right? But it is a mono red deck, and after playing it, I called it Mono Red Stompy. Why did I call it Stompy? Because I was terribly impressed by the Sardian Cliffstomper. That's why. This guy is really cool. He's all Cliffstompy, and so it becomes Mono Red Stompy. What is this deck really? I mean, it still is kind of a Mono Red aggro deck, but as you can see, it's not as focused on aggro as it could be. I mean, there's definitely a lot of stuff in the 2 and under category, but we got stuff that costs 4. So, like, wow, 4, man. I'm going to have to wait around for that. And guess what? This deck actually comes alive at 4 mana. So there's a lot of stuff that's going on, and you're trying to hold your best out at under 4. And as soon as you get to 4 mana, this deck just goes crazy. So good. Yeah, I played a bunch of decks today off of this Premium Mythic list. I think I went through about 3 or 4 of them. All the rest of them, I could not get to win for anything. Not at all. Not even one win. It was just all... I usually play 2 or 3 rounds just to see how it feels. Is it close to winning? Nothing. It was just they were getting slaughtered. This deck performed. It was kill. 3-0. So it is definitely ready to take it to the big time and to show you what it can do. All right, so let's take a look at the cards really quick just to see what's in there. We've got Kumano, which does a point of damage. Eventually it puts out a 2/2 dude. This guy comes out and gets pumped every time you play a non-creature spell. This is a non-creature spell that does 2 points of damage to any target. Here's a dude that anytime you play a non-creature spell, you put an oil counter on him, and eventually you can pay enough to sacrifice him to discard your card and draw 4 hands. So far, this guy is the big stink pot that I've seen so far. Maybe it'll be awesome. We'll see. 3 points of damage to any target. This guy goes out with a big old 4 butt. And as soon as you get up to 4 mountains, he becomes a 4/4 on your turn. On your turn, he becomes a 4/4. So for 2, you can have 4/4s. Fable puts out a treasure troll who can then get you an additional piece of treasure whenever it attacks. And eventually you get a Kiki-Jiki. You can start copying dudes. Bolt Charge does 3 points of damage and proliferate. So that will basically, in this deck, is just going to increase whatever tokens you're putting out and increase the power of your planeswalkers. We got 3 planeswalkers, practically a Super Friends deck, right? Chandra does 1 point of damage and gives you 1 mana. What else do you do? It lets you draw a card and play it if it's red. Eventually, your Super Saiyan ability is whenever you cast a red spell, it deals X damage to any target where X is the amount of mana spent. If you can get her up to 7, go for it. It's a fantastic ability. Jaya puts out those super cool prowess monks. That's a lot like the Swiftspear. Then she also allows you to exile top 2 cards. You can play one of them this turn. You can do direct damage to a creature equal to the number of attacking creatures you have, and her emblem is whenever you cast a red instant or sorcery, copy it twice. I wonder what that would do with her ability. It would be twice the amount of mana off the first one, or the second one doesn't have any mana, so therefore it counts as a 0. Maybe we'll find out. Koth. Koth is super cool. It comes out as 4, and you can deal damage to a creature equal to the number of mountains you control, which is probably going to be about 4. But for +2, you can go get another mountain, reveal it, put it in your hand. If you haven't played anything, you can then play it. which means that next time you have him, you could probably do 5 points of damage. And he allows that mana base to grow wildly. Once you get up to -7, his ability is whenever a mountain enters the battlefield under your control, the emblem deals 4 damage to any target. So between all 3 of those, if you get to the Super Saiyan levels, then you'll be able to start doing a lot of damage to any target for the rest of the game, right? Anytime you play something or put out a mountain, all that good stuff. All right, so that's it. It's all about aggression and shooting and getting big and swole. I think it's going to be awesome. Let's go take a look. But first, let's talk to our pal Toxroll. Dear Toxroll, who lives in the dark chambers of my heart, hear my prayers as we crush our enemies, see them driven before us, and to hear the lamentation of the women. Let's see, we're playing against Drex. X. Let's see. We got 2 mana. I can... yeah, I'll do it. These things are a little expensive, but I have faith. There's our 3rd mana. Everything's totally cool. Alright, just got to pick up something I can play for 2 on the next turn. That's it. Would it be a Swiftspear or a Vindictive Flamestoker or a Cliffstomper? Oh, like all the things I didn't get. We'll just shoot that guy in the face instead. Hungry with a Wolf. It's a Duran Duran card. Alright, 3 is going to go ahead and get us into a treasure troll. And attack for 2. What does Jaya even do? Puts out the super Iron Fist monks. Exile target. Okay, what are we going to do here? 5, huh? What do I got? I got 5 right there. That sounds fun. So let's decline. Shoot for 2. Shoot for 3. And all in for 4. A little Jaya action out on the next turn. And nope, I need it for Jaya. You can hold back there, Swiftspear. Whatevs. Like, I care. Actually, let's do this. Oh, yeah, I got it. Auto pay! Alright, Koth, go get me some mountains. And a Swiftspear. There you go. That all worked out for the best. Alright, got a Kiki Jiki. This guy can go to town, though. Yeah, alright, here we go. We'll just kill it off next turn. Dead! Here's a little Jaya. Monk up! That dude's power fists are so awesome. I love it when he does that thing. And we win! Boom, boom! Goes the room. Alright, we're playing against SCAB. Paid for the all caps package. I'm sure it's delicious. Keep. Two. We'll put ourselves out with a Cliffstomper. Alright, I just need a couple more pieces of mana. 3. And, 1 for this. 2 for that. All in. Alright, come on. A single mana for Koth. That's all I want. I want a lot of things, actually, but I really want that. I could put out the Fable. And work. That's like so many turns away, though. One to put it out, another one to attack. Then I got my 4th mana. Red's not out of the deck for waiting. There we go. Because I could have just shot. I really didn't need extra mana, did I? I'll attack. I have something in the block. Okay, Volt Charge and Koth can be used for creature removal at this point. You do up to 5 points of damage next turn. This is super ability 7. Whenever a mountain is under control, M does 4 damage to any target. That Simmons looks pretty good. Alright, there's that. Let's go ahead and do this. And we'll just go ahead and increase our powers. Through the power of Ovaltine. Got him with 7. That is super cool. No thanks. We'll spend 0. Alright, we're going to pop this guy for the 7, get our emblem. We're going to do this, which will kill off that for the moment. The other thing will take a while to pop, I suppose. What about that guy? We're going to jump in with what I got. What are you blocking? I suggest you stay away. Yeah! Alright, we're doing Space Awesome. This is where he wipes the board and kills everything and gets 100 life? Nope. Three, two, I just put down a guy. Alright, that's cool. And we win. Touchdown. Lava Bears. Alright, playing against Gorm. You know, a good family name. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. What I like is the 4 is going to get us into Jaya and Koth. Koth is kick ass, by the way. Super cool. Look at that, +2 for going to grab a mountain. Alright, Goldfish, don't team up with me. I don't like it. Alright, 2 gets us into a Stomper. Which weird having a mono red deck that's playing 25 lands. That is rough. Thing is, this deck wants it. It wants to chew it up. No attacks. Don't worry, he's of no offensive power whatsoever. He just stands there. His 0-4 big buttonness helps to defend me against simple, stupid dudes like you. This is where things are going to be space awesome. Alright, Koth, go do your thing. 4 points. And in for 4. That's beautiful right there. That's what I love about that deck, right there. I love that particular move. Yes! Yes! Oh, it feels so good. Alright, we are playing with Reclusiarch. Reclusiarch, 40,000. Keep. Go in, running back. Ooh, I gotta touch the precious. I gotta touch the precious. Precious, precious, precious. Alright, and somebody who's really slow and somebody who's not. I'll attack. And kill off that Gala Greeter here in a second. Yep. Bounce! Alright, I'm going to chew up Adeline here on the next turn. I don't care. It'll be glorious. It'll be wonderful. Koth! And he's got one, so let's try to save him for a second. Alright, you're playing our defense there. I'll kill that guy. Kills him. No blocks. And in for one. All right, let's Jaya up. And we win. Victory! I'm playing against the Fallen King. Triple Ot. Oddly placed capital letter. Let's keep it. Get in your place, Fox. Come on. You know where to go. Right there. Thank you. Alright, we're all set up for turn 2 at this point. Yeah, cover your eyes. Oh hell, I'll do it. Let's scry a little bit. Yeah, that sounds cool. I'll attack. Alright, we got him down to 9. Yeah, you're really going to put up with me, Toast Crispy? Is that the deal? Alright, shoot for the face. Put out a little Jaya action here. Alright, I'm going to take a poison counter by doing this action. You gonna protect it? X-proof and indestructible. That's okay, I'm in. He's just dedicated to the whole, that whole situation then. Let's go for it again. Now I'm not making it through those guys. Are they getting indestructible or just hexproof? Alright, they are going to slaughter. Let's just send in this guy. Dead! And we win. Suck it, Fallen King. There's a reason why you're fallen. Victory! Alright, so this is the Premium Mythic deck, Mono Red Stompy. It's not really that stompy, but you got the Sardian Cliffstomper, and he made a huge impact on me. So, I mean, is this calling this thing a mid-range deck? I mean, it only has, the biggest card in here is 4. It's just barely over what you'd call aggro, but it doesn't really go into anything big at the end of the game. Not a whole lot of, like, super control, anything, but it does have enough that it is cool. I mean, that's really where your, that Koth really kind of specializes in. So, let's see, what was the hero of this deck? To me, it was Koth, the Fire Resistance. What's interesting is because I knew that there was a Koth Planeswalker out there. I guess I just never bothered to read him before. And so when this deck had him in there and I started playing him and I saw what he did, yeah, really good, really good. What is it that he did again? It's like you get to +2, you get to search for a mountain, reveal it, and put it in your hand and shuffle. So it doesn't go directly into play, but man, still you're getting +2 out of it and an extra land. Because the greatest thing is at -3 is he deals damage to target creature equal to the number of mountains you control. It takes like 4 to get him out. Now, of course, you can speed that up a little bit with your treasure troll from the Fable, but still, you're going to be easily shooting for 4 and then 5, and he just serves that whole progress there. Plus, we can get him up to 7 really quickly. At which point, you put that emblem out, and it deals enough stuff just constantly. You can do it to any target at that point. And this deck has enough mountains in it that you'd be throwing it down willy-nilly. This guy was a real hero. He's my MVP. I was going to tell you that the Sardian Cliffstomper was my MVP. But yeah, Koth really just kind of edged him out. This guy gets honorable mention. Sardian Cliffstomper. Good job. We've had him for a while, yet I don't remember ever playing with him or seeing him be played. I really liked him. The card I thought kind of sucked was Vindictive Flamestoker. I mean, sure, he's a 1. I'm not sure he's really worth keeping in here. I didn't really understand what the point of it was. I mean, sure, discard your hand and draw 4 cards. Yeah, I just never really got the oil counters up enough that this actually became a thing. There's got to be something better than this Flamestoker that we could put in here than this. That would be interesting, though, because there's lots of other great, like, I don't know, the stupid Phoenix chick, whatever. It'd be a great card in this deck. It'd be perfect. But then again, it's perfect in every mono red deck. So let's find something a little bit more interesting to play with than that. All right. So was this deck competitive? Well, let's see. In the play, I got a 67% win rate. Trying to think, who did I lose to? Looks like I lost to Mono Black, a Boros, and a Bant. There's not really a pattern there. Who did I lose? Why would I lose? I don't quite remember exactly. I don't remember anything particular about it. I mean, here's what I remember is that this deck gets only up to a certain power level. And as soon as they start outclassing you, then there's not really much you could do about it. This deck is almost an aggro deck. I mean, it is so early game focused with you trying to wrap the whole thing up by mid game with your big planeswalkers. But if you can't accomplish this and they start to really gain their late game feel, you are screwed and the game's over. And that's pretty much it. That's what I'd say is probably the big downfall is just you can't let the games go on too long. All right, so is it competitive? Yes. Is it fight on the ladder? I would say it probably does. I did pick this up off the Premium Mythic deck list, so I pretty much have to say that it is definitely a competitive deck. Number 2, was this deck fun? Totally. I mean, until I started to have to do a test for what kind of decks I like, I didn't think, I liked red. I knew I liked it to a certain degree, but I didn't think that like my life revolved around how fun red decks were, especially mono red decks. So yeah, I am definitely a hardcore red player for some reason. I did not realize that about myself. I would have told you I was a Golgari or something, right? That black was where it was at. But no, red is where the pure joy comes from. Boom, boom. And this deck just delivers on the pure, delightful joy of red deckness. Lastly, was this deck interesting? And it was. But what was interesting about it? It was Koth was really interesting because I'd never played with him before. I really liked what he did for this deck, the way that he was able to shoot for do damage equal to the number of mountains in play for -3. That was so good. Jaya putting out the Iron Fist with the 2 Iron Fists. That was really cool. I mean, she's got so many abilities unto herself, but just being able to see that dude flap his little burning hands around, it means a lot to me. And lastly, the Sardian. That's how you say it, Sardian. Yeah, that's it. Cliffstomper. The first time I got this guy up to 4 and he was shooting in 4, that was so incredible. In fact, I think I got 3 of them out for practically nothing. I turned 3 or something. And I was swinging in for 12 points of damage. It was fantastic. Those guys are definitely worth their own pump. And they've got that big old 4 butt for blocking. I mean, they're really good. The only problem is that, they're not doing anything for the first 3 turns. And you got to really hope that you get, 4 solid lands. But yeah, there are 25 lands in this deck, so you're going to pick those up fairly awesome. One time I lost because I couldn't get over 3 lands. That was all I could get. And so I had the Sardian Cliffstompers, and it was just sitting there doing nothing. My hand was filled with Planeswalkers, and I couldn't play them because I couldn't get that 4th mana. And I think eventually I ended up getting a Fable out of the deal, but getting a mana out of a Fable takes forever. So that was definitely one of the games I lost just because I couldn't get the 4th mana. My hand was just crying for it. It was like, get me to 4 mana, because that's where this deck comes alive. It's kind of like in the, a lot of other decks don't come alive till you get to 7 mana. But being this is red, yeah, 4 mana is that break point right there. So yeah, the big guy that just sucks is this guy right there, Flamestoker. I'd definitely swap him out for something else. So let's count it all up. Was this deck competitive? Yes. Was this deck fun? Check. Was it deck interesting? You betcha. It is an A+ deck. And as I say, required by law, this deck is so choice. I would highly recommend you pick one up should you have the means. That is all for now. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like and subscribe. From all of us here in the secret underground headquarters of Uncommonly Good MTG, have a great day. In the words of my people, shine on, you crazy diamonds. Later.